Welcome to MyTrack Training. RFQ line items and custom price types. An RFQ is made up of one or more items from your customer. Your customer requests pricing on these items and will like a response from you showing your prices that you will do the work for. MyTrack allows an unlimited number of line items per RFQ. An RFQ line item is really just an item. Items are maintained in item maintenance. When you're in item maintenance, you could search for an item or create a new item by hitting the bottom left corner New. In this example, I've selected an existing item. That existing item is where you would put in all the information regarding the description, the revision, the drawing number from your customer. Because an RFQ line item is made up of items, you could actually set specific base pricing for the item. By setting some specific base pricing, when you add that line item to an RFQ, these are the prices that will be used. This is when you're using a product line and you're not really quoting a detailed quote. You could also create a line item which has party prices. Party prices are where you have specific prices per party or customer. You may discount your product line to different customers based on how much they've been ordering from you. And the last type of price type is called a quoted price. This is when you would actually create a detailed quote for the item, and those prices would show up on the RFQ. So back to the request for quote. On the line item screen, you could actually click this Add by Item. This button will bring up a search dialog to let you search for an item that already exists, or you could hit the plus button to create a new item. Most of the time in the quoting at the RFQ stage, you would select the plus button to create a new item on the fly. In our sample, I'm actually just going to search for an item that already exists. As you start typing in, the item will be located. I'm going to double click and select the item. Once I select the item, you could fill out the header information, and also you could put in a comment. The comments are of unlimited length, and you could give messages, for example, customer supplied material on this, or specific messages to your customer. An RFQ line item has potentially multiple quantities. When you hit the plus button, you could actually enter multiple quantities. A customer may want just a quote on one piece, but you could actually be asked to give a quote on one piece, 50 pieces, and 500 pieces. The delivery is more on the manufacturing side, not really a product line. It's really how many production runs or manufacturing runs you're going to make to produce those 500 pieces or 50 pieces. The reason we have that is because the time it takes to set up the machine to make those parts will be added into the quote, especially if you have to set up the machine multiple times for the quantity. Once you click OK, you'll see down below in the quantity screen you could have as many quantities as you wish, and each quantity in my example here is showing a custom price. Again, you could have 4 different price types on an item. It could be a base price where the prices actually get copied over from the item. You could have a custom price where you're going to enter the price information, a customer price, which is very similar to base price but it's customer specific, or a quoted price where you will actually get the price from the detailed quote from your exploded bill of materials and the labor and the operations you put in the system. At this point, you could actually click on a quantity because it is a custom price, and actually type in what you want to sell it for. For example, $3. I want a 10% margin, and there's my price. You could actually enter a target price if you wish. You could also flag it as a primary price. Why we flag it as a primary price is on the RFQ line item screen, you're not looking at the individual quantities. You're looking at one quantity for that part. So you could have more of a forecast. So if you have 5 quantities and you believe you're going to get one of the quantities and not really the first one, which is a prototype or the production run, you can actually select the primary. And by selecting the primary at the bottom, you'll get the total cost, total amount, taxes, freight, everything else based on that specific quantity. You could add multiple line items now to your quote, and you can RFQ. You could actually mix and match different items on an RFQ. Maybe there's a couple products that you produce, you manufacture and resell, and others you actually manufacture on a made to order or engineer to order basis. In those situations, you'd put in all those different line items. In the end, all the line items put together would end up being your forecast and what gets sent to your customer. When you print out your RFQ or quote letter that goes to the customer, you will see all the different pricing.